Okay, new at 8. It is the new thing in Gen Z relationships. It's the so-called talking stage. So for parents, what it is, and for Gen Zers, how do you move on to the next stage of a relationship? So we're here with professional matchmaker Racheal Stuntz with It's Just Lunch, Denver. Good morning.
Hi there. Thanks so much for having me. What a fun way to start the week.
We're so happy to have you here. Okay, so tell us about this talking stage that's happening.
Yes, so the talking stage, even though it's a newly coined term by Gen Z, it is not a new part of the dating process at all. It's essentially the time from when you meet somebody to when you make it official. So what that looks like is going on dates and probably some combination of talking and texting on the phone as well.
So it's just an endless cycle of talking with nothing happening, not defining the relationship. Is that what this is?
Well, that's how someone might feel for sure. That's one of the frustrations that comes with the talking phase is when do we move out of the talking? Because if it goes on for months and months, you might be wondering, when am I going to get any clarity here?
Right. So I'm sure we're speaking to a lot of people who have experienced this themselves and haven't found a way out. How do you move past it?
Definitely. So for starters, just be true to yourself and know what you're comfortable with, what your boundaries are, so that you can lead with how you're feeling in that way. Because let's face it, a good relationship comes down to good communication. You're going to be having these vulnerable conversations together down the road. So the sooner you can get comfortable being honest, being transparent. I always tell my clients that it's just lunch to date with maturity and transparency. So that if you know you're not going to get there, you're really cutting things off so that you can both move closer to the right fit.
Right. So you're saying those hard conversations are necessary to have, even if it feels a little early, just so you know where everyone actually stands.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, those vulnerable conversations in dating really go hand in hand. So until you are in a committed relationship, and even beyond then, you're going to be having those conversations. So it's a great place to start.
Is there a way to do it without freaking the other person out?
That is always the question, right? When do I ask? How do I ask them how they're feeling? And I think you just start by kind of laying some of your cards on the table. Here's how I'm feeling. You know, I've really enjoyed the time we've spent together. What are you thinking about where all of this is standing? And hopefully opening the conversation, you are, instead of moving towards that going separate ways direction, you're ending up in that great relationship with that great foundation of communication too.
Totally. And there is a way to kind of feel it out at first, right? Like you don't have to launch into the conversation.
Right.
You can do it leisurely.
It doesn't need to be, well, are we committed and exclusive? It's like, hey, you know, what do you think about the next step? How are you feeling about where we stand?
Right. And there's no timeline either, right? Because, you know, for what one person, they might be very happy in a relationship a week in versus others where they might need a month.
Exactly. That's probably the most challenging part, is that everyone's timeline is going to look a little different. Maybe somebody's been in the dating scene for a little bit longer versus the person they're seeing is a little newer to the dating game. They might want to feel things out for a bit longer.
Right. So for anyone who has more questions, where can they go to check you out or to get some of this information themselves?
Yeah, so it's justlunchdenver.com, or give us a call. We would love to speak to you more about it and hopefully get you out of the talking phase.
Oh, there we go. That's the next step, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you.